If there's one thing we all hate doing on an individual basis is paying tax. So that's why in this video, I'm going to show you how to pay less tax legally, of course, in the UK, along with all the tax-free allowances that you should be using. Now, before we get started, I just want to preface this by saying I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. This is literally for educational purposes only. And you should always do your own research before doing anything that I'm about to say. So now, if you're still interested in what I have to say, let's get started. Now I'm going to stamp everything in this video so you know exactly where to go if you just want to skip ahead and move to a part you've never really heard anything about. But we're going to start with how income tax actually works. Now for different countries this might be completely different, but I'm just going to do it with the country that I live in, which is the UK, England. So the tax brackets in the UK are 20%, 40% and 45%. But there's also a tax-free personal allowance that everyone has up to £12,570 in the UK at this current moment in time. But if you're watching this video, you're probably not in that tax bracket. So the other ones, 20, 40 and 45, 20% is from 12,570 to 50,270. Then 40% is from 50,271 to 125,140 pounds. Then literally everything above 125,140 pounds is 45%. However, there's a few mistakes and things I've heard in my family, in a lot of different families and friends, of people saying they don't want a pay rise because they're gonna move into the next tax bracket. And I'm gonna show you why you should always get a pay rise and not worry about what tax bracket you're moving into. Because people think as soon as you move into the 40% tax bracket, you pay 40% on all of your income. What the fuck? But that's just not true. You only pay 40% on anything over 50,270. So let's say, as a ballpark example, your friend has a salary of £47,750 a year and he's going to get a pay rise to £52,500, but he's not going to accept that because he thinks that he's going to pay tax on 40% instead of 20. But what's actually going to happen is he's going to miss out on over £2,000 a year because he's not taking that pay rise. So basically, next time you get a pay rise and it's going over that threshold into the new tax bracket, please take it. Don't worry about 20, 40, 45%. Moving on to your first tax-free allowance, which you are entitled to every single year from your job, which is your pension. With your workplace pension, which you are legally required to have in the UK, you have up to £60,000 a year to put into your pension tax-free. And the tax benefits of a pension in the UK are different than any other because your pension gets taken out before tax even happens. So that means you're getting the benefit of pre-tax income going into your pension. Plus, most of the time, your employer is going to match whatever you put into that pension. So to put that into perspective, if you were to just leave and opt out of your pension and leave that to just go into your paycheck, that money would be taxed. But if you put it into the pension instead, this is pre-tax, so it's not going to be taxed and it's going to go in to a tax efficient account as well, where you don't pay any tax inside the pension account. Yes, a lot of words. So not only can you save and invest and grow your money and compound it for the future, you can save it from tax right now. So it's a win-win. Next, your ISA allowance. Another way to decrease your tax bill on a year-by-year basis is your ISA allowance. And you've probably heard of the cash ISA, but there are two ISAs that you've probably not really heard of before, which is the stocks and shares ISA and the lifetime ISA. And this is what worries me a bit because only 6% of people in the entire UK have a stocks and shares ISA. I don't know the figures for a lifetime ISA, but I'll put it up on the screen. So let's break them both down quickly. A stocks and shares ISA is a tax efficient account where you can invest up to £20,000 a year, completely tax free, protected from capital gains tax, income tax, dividend tax, you name it. While a lifetime ISA is something you can use for saving up for your first home or retirement. And with a lifetime ISA, the government adds a 25% savings bonus on whatever you put in that account. So if you put £1,000 in, they're going to give you 25% savings added onto that. But you can only do this for up to £4,000 a year. So the maximum you can attain in one tax year is £5,000. 4 of that being yours, 1,000 of that being the government's. So if you want me to do a video on stocks and shares ISAs and lifetime ISAs separately, leave it in the comments below and I will make a video separately. Now, we have other tax-free allowances such as capital gains tax allowance, we have dividends allowance, we have all that, but a lot of it can be protected by just investing with a stocks and shares ISA or using your pension. Plus, you have £80,000 a year tax-free across the pension and the stocks and shares ISA, or all the ISAs rolled into one. So in conclusion, we've learned that you can contribute up to £80,000 every tax year completely tax-free, and you can start paying less tax by doing that. So for the pension side of things, it might be worth getting in contact with your employer and seeing if they can match you more, or you can open up a self-invested personal pension or a SIP. And as for your ISA allowance, there are certainly different accounts that you can open with a lot of different platforms. So I'll probably do a video in the future of what the best platforms are for each ISA type. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments. But I hope you've learned a lot from this video and you can start actually contributing towards these accounts year on year to save your tax bill. Remember, the key is to pay less tax and know the rules. So you should always do your own research before actually going into this. But I hope this video helped open your eyes to it. So if you'd like to see more personal finance content like this, subscribe for more, like this video and comment on what you want to see next or any improvements I can make on this video, because I've literally only just started. So peace.